All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome here to the Cool Stuff YouTube channel. I'm back. Here I am. What's up? Welcome. Of course, I've stopped doing weekly videos and weekly articles for CoolStuffInc.com about popping in from time to time. And it's 10 new brew season, 8th drift season, and we're doing the secret 11th brew here on Cool Stuff. And we're playing a deck based around Ketramose, the new Dawn. Moose, I don't know. This is a new god. It's a 3-mana 4/4, menace, lifelink, indestructible. However, it can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. Then it says whenever one or more cards are put into exile from graveyards or the battlefield, important to just note, it's graveyards or the battlefields, and it's during your turn. So if you exile a card from their hand on their turn, you will not get anything, obviously. You draw a card, lose life. So a very, very powerful card, obviously, if you're able to keep exiling things, which is what our deck is built to do. Everything we have exiles. We're working the mana base here to make sure lay down arms. We get late works. We get lay down arms. Dreams of Steel and Oil, exile a card from the graveyard. Anoint, exile a creature. Forge, exiles from our own graveyard, which is kind of cool. Lockdown, exiles. Blot Out, exiles. Legion of S, exiles. You get the idea, right? Now, it's important to note that it will not trigger on our opponent's turn. So we're favoring the more sorcery speed options like Lay Down Arms and Temporary Lockdown. We got some Elendas here, just kind of like as a Baneslayer. Then we got a lot of Planeswalkers. Kaya can exile things and makes tokens and then do more stuff. I'm not even sure what it does. Ashiok, while the exiling of our own library won't trigger it, it still makes tokens that get pumped, which is kind of cool. Big one here is Deadly Cover-Up. This card is the Splinter Twin combination with Ketramose, where we get to collect evidence, exile, draw a card. Then Wrath, our thing lives, it's indestructible, and then we get to exile the cards from the graveyard and then draw another card. So this is the 1-2 punch. We're not playing Sunfall, so we would exile our Ketramose, where this card will not. So that's the big deal there. Playing a couple of Cease Desist is a way to kind of get some evidence in the graveyard for our card. It also exiles, it gains some life, it draws a card. And then if someone's playing an artifact or enchantment deck, we get to boom, blow them up. And a couple big walkers here to get the job done. So Wanderer and Kaya, which do both exile as well. Now, the mana base here is a little wonky as we're trying to support Laydown Arms, which is a really, really powerful card if you can support it. So we're playing 4 copies of Sunlit Marsh, the tapped Scrubland, to go alongside Shadowy Backstreet, also Plains, and Fabled Passage. So for the most part, we only have 6 non-plains in our deck. I think that the Laydown Arms should be pretty good here. That being said, we're not playing any cool utility lands like Fountain Port and stuff because we're trying so hard to get the plains going. I think we have enough big stuff to do with our mana. We won't need that, but we're going to find out. Obviously, this is the first draft of the deck, and this is the 11th brew, so we're going to give it a spin and see how it goes. Brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. Let's rock and roll. All right. Ketra, come on down. All right, we're going to keep. And it's a little sketchy, but fine. Feed the cycle. Spiral Canal, Marauding. That's a really good card. Okay, maybe Infinite Move 1 X, so... Marauding Mako, new good card. We're going to get a Swamp here. Forge is 3 cards from graveyard or food. Alright, well, a little awkward here. Do have our God on turn 3, which is cool. They have Artist Talent. Going to be doing some discard stuff here. We played a deck similar to this. Oh my god, man. Are you serious? What is going on here? Our 10 new brews. It popped off, but lost a lot. So, Shark Pirate. Land 3. There's starts. They have the stones here. Mako into Talent, into Monument. This is the discard payoff card. And we draw. Alright. We drew a spell at least we can cast. So we anoint this. We have to draw off the Dawn. Put a card in exile. We draw a land. Alright, so we're good. Everything's good now. The 4th cover-up, not so good, but it's evidence for this cover-up, so that's cool. So that being said, we need to not die to the Monument to Endurance. This is a pretty powerful combination of cards. Artist Talent and the Monument. Artist Talent number 2. Alright, discarding a land. They can draw, treasure, or lose 3. They can do one of these each turn. Kills reasonably fast. And here is Storm Chaser's Talent, sure. Draw a card, make a treasure. This is the matchup we want to draw our copies of Cease Desist. Okay, a lot of lands. They have a treasure. Alright, what else you got, friend? We draw a tap land. So, we can kill this. We could forage and draw a card off Feed the Cycle. Or we can just wait to cover up. They're showing nothing in their graveyard to cover up. And unfortunately, we're taking 3 a turn guaranteed. Yeah. We don't currently have that many ways to destroy an artifact in our deck. At least in our main deck, quote unquote. We have the 1 Legion to Ashes. That's really it. Yeah. All right. Lockdown would be nice too. I'm just gonna cast this and forage, just draw a card. Like, we're gonna lose our ability to cranial extraction, but like I don't have anything useful anyway. So, Exile 3, draw off the Moose. There's the lockdown. We can't cast it yet though. It doesn't actually remove the monument either. Yeah, getting this thing up to being able to attack as soon as possible is like pretty big game. This will do it next turn. So end step, they're going to cast Opt and get more triggers of Monument. Jeez. Artist Talent and Monument is quite the pairing. So if we manage to survive, which I don't think is necessarily a given, we might be able to do some cool stuff next turn, but... Alright, Scry top. They're capable of dealing like 6 in a turn cycle with this thing. And we can gain 4. That being said, once Lockdown hits all this stuff, like, that would be really, really good for us, so... Oh, my God. Alright. Yeah, sure, I guess. This is called doing it, I suppose. Once you get all this stuff in play, Monument goes pretty silly. And we are dead if they have any other spell. Which seems almost impossible not to have with 3 mana up and a bunch of loots. They do a spell on our turn, I guess, but... Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I mean, their deck completely sidesteps literally everything we are doing. They have very few creatures for all of these. We drew all 4 Wraths, lay down arms, and feed the cycles, and we just don't have a way to deal with all this combo stuff. We do have the, you know, obviously we would board in, like, Artifact and Enchantment hate too. But yeah, I guess, sure. Alright, let's try it again, I guess. Yeah, this is fun. Shadowy Backstreet, come on down. 4th land in Fabled Passage. I'm going to ship this. We have better Backstreet. I'll find a little more action here, hopefully. Restless Prairies. Hopefully they're playing creatures we can kill. That'd be nice. Because our deck is good at killing creatures and not much else. We'll keep Elenda. Lenore Elves, come on down, buddy. The water's just fine over here. Here is the Moose. The Moose. Land number 4. The new Cage Gearhulk. The new Gearhulk card's really, really good. Green-white Gearhulk. Ranger of Eos on steroids. Overlord of the Mistmoors. Come on down. We draw a Duress. So I'm actually going to just fine. I'm just going to exile the Overlord and then Duress them. I'm going to do it in a different order. It's just straighter. So let's exile the Overlord. Draw a card. And we draw Anoint, sure. Let me just Duress you. You draw land for cover up, but they have Sheltered by Ghost, Paw Patch Recruit, and Salvager. So pretty good cover up matchup. We've got only 4 mana in the bin for our cover. I mean, we can play Anoint and draw another card next turn, which is fine. You know, coming in. We're at 14. We draw a tap land. That's fine. Let's just exile. If I had a token, though, I won't draw a card. I'm going to hit... They can just Prairie us next turn. Jeez. We could just play Elenda, honestly, and just like that's just to buy. Just buying time is the most important part, right? We just play the Elenda, buy some time, and then Wrath next turn. We don't even care if it dies, because we're going to cover up with it anyway. I should do that. They have so little left afterwards that like we just need to survive to cast our cover up. And anointing a 1/1 is not very exciting either. So what do you got, friend? This can pump their tokens. Like they don't know I'd happily trade Elenda for the Golem here, so. All right, so here come the boys. Perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. Block here. So gain some life, make the trade. Now you have evidence of the graveyard for cover up. They play a recruit, and I'm expecting a concession here pretty quickly. Let's play the Backstreet. We just keep the, I don't know, whatever. Just dump this. I don't think it matters, honestly. He has cover up, and we're going to exile. So we're going to exile 4 cards. We have 1 in exile already. So that's 5. We have 6, 7. So we do Elenda and Anoint. Draw a card off the Dawn. And then we kill all the stuff. And then we exile... Probably Sheltered by Ghosts. I don't know, it's pretty easy to deal with that. Maybe just a recruit. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter, I don't think. A card they have 4 of, preferably. Yeah, so they exile all of those. They got Overlords, Gearhulks, just a cage deck. Nothing crazy. And their hand is a Gold Vein Hydra. Interesting. Exile those. Draw a card again. Go to 10. And we attack and gain 4. And I think we're looking pretty good here. Land 6. They could play a 5/5 Hydra. Perfect target for Anoint. So I think we're good to go. All right. We're going to lay down arms, actually. Save Anoint for a creature land. Exile that. Draw a card. All right. Sweet. Cool. Deck's doing what it's supposed to do. All right. So we are on the draw. We've got a Plains, Duress, and this is fine. We'll keep this. Got the old Guild God lined up. Wastewood Verge, Molt Tender. So we have a Insidious Roots deck, which is fine. Definitely going to fire up a Duress here on turn 1 and see if we can't hit the Roots, but all of our exiles actually pretty good here. There's the Roots. We got it. We got Dream Thief, Cankerbloom, and some lands. Cool. Roots, obviously the best card in the deck by a country mile. We played a Roots deck during 10 New Brews, and like it really is a deck that like when you have Roots, your deck is awesome. When you don't, your deck is kind of sketch. So Molt Tender is a great new addition for the Roots deck. Really powerful card. Alright, so they're going to exile the Roots and use the mana to cast Fairy Dream Thief. Sure. Surveil 1. Keep the card on top. It's funny because, like, this is almost like a hate card against them. Because they're trying to exile cards to their graveyard anyway. Here's the Mortuary. Turns on the Wastewood Verge. And just going to say go. Alright, so... Alright, we can anoint something, but let's play tap land and play the Dawn first. So, tap land. Top card is a Fabled Passage. Don't need that. We managed to draw both swamps in our deck, obviously. Just put in 2 there, trying to get the late arms to be good, but not quite Deathrite Shaman, but a really good new card, Molt Tender. I guess this only triggers on our turn, so if they exile stuff on their turn, but whatever, it's still we're still doing good stuff here. So attack for 2. You got it, friend. And they got the old Cankerbloom. They rip a Tyvar. Tyvar's pretty good.
This will be quick.
And they're going to simply untap the Molt Tender. Sure. Draw Deadly Cover-Up. That's a pretty good one. All right. So, land and the Moose. Ship it. So, they're going to mill a card for me. Cool. Obviously, as they exile cards, this will turn into a creature. Pretty hard to kill. They just rip Insidious Roots off the top. Yeah, sure, whatever, I guess. That's fine. Pretty good rips there. Of course, Roots is obviously very nice here. If we can get some cards in the graveyard, we can cast this cover up. That'd be nice. Hardest part of the Roots deck is just actually drawing it, and then they spike 3 creatures off of their Tyvar trigger. Oh my god. Alright, opponent's running Hotter Than the Sun. This deck is super, if this deck runs perfectly, it really does go absolutely bananas. Now they have 3 extra mana and the Moltenders and creatures to exile with their, yeah. So like, just the absolute sickest of rips here. They draw Roots, and they mill 3 creatures off Tyvar, with none in the graveyard. They could have just hit like land, Roots, and like gotten nothing back. So, basically running perfectly. We do have our temporary lockdowns, cover up to clean the board up here, which is nice as well. But pretty awkward, to say the least. Here's a Dredger's Insight. Mill 4. They find the Swarm Weaver and an Overlord. Yeah. Alright. Bring back Overlord. And they get another thing. They have Haste, so they have 4 mana available. Unfortunately, it might just be dead. Like, it's possible they just time for lethal next turn. Which, again, is pretty disgusting from having literally nothing to all this. We should draw Temporary Lockdown. That'd be sweet, you know? We can still anoint one of these things and draw a card. Alright, so they're going to Overlord. Once you get Tyvar and Roots in play, like, you just go absolute bananas. They get back Stormweaver. They get a token. They have only 3 mana available. They do keep exiling things, so if this thing can attack, I'd be very happy about it. We'll probably just, like, anoint. Now, if I anoint a token, I draw a card, right? Because it does just go to the graveyard temporarily. Yeah, they're going off so hard here. It's unbelievable. Alright, so this is all from a rip on turn 3. They had nothing, and now they have all of this. And the Stormweaver. Okay. This cares about cards being put in exile, sure. So, I think we're just dead, honestly. This is turn 3 or 4 for them. Turn 4 on the play. Pretty silly. Pretty silly stuff. Get that Canker Bloom going, too. Alright. We draw Dreams of Steel and Oil. Not so good. So we exile. We're just dead. Yeah, I mean, we can draw Lockdown. So you can exile a card from the graveyard and draw Lockdown. That's our only out. So pretty gross. We're gonna play a Swamp and we're gonna play Dream of Steel and Oil. And they have no cards in hand. We still get to exile an artifact or creature card from the graveyard. Actually, they don't have one. We actually can't even cast this. Artifact, creature, graveyard, exile, chosen cards. Alright, yeah, we're dead. I mean, I guess maybe they screw up. Cast Elenda and say go. Maybe they exile enough things where the this can block. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, these Roots decks are like, when they get the thing going, they're so powerful. They don't find Roots, they don't function. We Duress the Roots on turn 1, you know, like, they just went Roots into Tyvar and into perfect hits, which is obviously an issue. They now have Delirium. This is actually an insect for the Swarm Weaver. Awesome. Oh, they even have Canker Bloom for Lockdown, actually. Yeah, alright. They get more stuff. Yeah, alright, we're gonna just back this up here. Alright, yeah, I mean, ran a little hot, you know, that's fine. It happens. It's cool. Alright. Yes, get in. Duress clear the way. Get the moose down. Forest. Scout. Explore. Afterburner Expert. What a lucky hit. Putting it right in the bin. So good. Alright, so we're going to, I want to lay down arms. I mean, let's hold lay down arms for the Dawn. I'll just Duress them, I think. Let's see what's up over here. They got Breakout, Dredger's Insight, Wickerfolk, Beasties. They are playing a hybrid Delirium and Exhaust deck. I mean, the Insight will likely get them Delirium. The Breakout's just a better card, I think. We have like infinite removal, which should probably be fine for us. I think it's Breakout, just a faster card. They play Wickerfolk, we'll just like anoint something and then play the Moose. They are not going to do that. All right. Double Beastie, Jesus. All right, they are coming at us. All right, we're going to anoint something. I should have done on our turn. I mean, maybe I want to anoint the Wickerfolk, but I don't have red yet. Hit a land and a land. Okay. Insight. Yeah, I probably should have just killed us on our turn. Mill over a red land, also an Engineer, and a Maverick. This is some draw. All right, I guess. We'll kill... This can't even attack yet, though. What do they have? They have land, creature, sorcery. Luckily, all of our stuff exiles. I'm going to hit the thing that can actually attack, I guess. And, I mean, they'll be able to attack next turn, but I gain a few life here. We're taking an absolutely monstrous hit next turn. But we get to Moose, Anoint, and lay down arms. This might just be too slow. Alright, no Delirium, no Delirium. No, the last card they spiked the Delirium. Oh my god. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. Alright. Right. Yeah, I mean, we're just dead. I guess we could draw a lockdown, right? So it's exile the, exile something and draw a lockdown. Alright. Draw a card, draw temporary lockdown. It's our only out. We did not draw a temporary lockdown. Alright. Sure, I guess. So yeah, this deck has similar problems to the synthesizer decks, where you just like can't play a card that doesn't do anything on turn 3. You know, like even if it's a powerful engine, you just fall behind so far because your card doesn't do anything. You know, obviously our matchup was pretty bad. We played against a bunch of decks that were just like ignoring creatures. Our opponents had really good draws, yada yada yada. The Roots deck had an insane draw. The Delirium deck had an insane draw. Yeah, whatever. You can definitely point to a lot of different things there. But I don't know about this card. Just seems like we need to find some way to use it immediately, and also like stabilize the board immediately too. And I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, I mean, it's one thing to lose to like the Monument deck where like we just don't interact at all. It's another thing to lose to a creature deck, you know. It's just like, what is going on here, you know? All right, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if it like is a little better than it showed in those games, but what are you gonna do? So try out new cards, try out new things. What can you do? All right, so like, comment, subscribe, support the content. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order. CoolStuffInc.com.